Alright everybody, guess who has Patreon now? Me. Yes, I finally have Patreon now. And the videos are $2, the drawings are $1, the short animations are $1, and everything is going to be on Patreon. I'm making a bunch of Final Fantasy videos this month because I need to talk about a lot about Final Fantasy. And yes, there's going to be Sonic videos too, so don't worry about it. It's not all Final Fantasy. So if you want to help me out, just subscribe to my Patreon, and the videos are only $2 a month. It'll help me a lot if you help me on Patreon, so you do me a favor, I'll do you a favor. Anyway, let's get to the video. So, now I have to discuss about Aerith's death more properly, because I did it in my other video, but it wasn't really well professionalized, and I want to discuss it better in this, and how fucked up they did her in the remake. Aerith's death is the most powerful scene in video game history that a lot of people cried over when she died. She was a very interesting, adorable character with a great personality, and they killed her off because they wanted to make the characters feel something. Did I cry? Not really, honestly. I was just sad that my healer died because I had to use Yuffie from now on. But anyway, the point is that Aerith's death in the remake is just so bad. At least here, she gets stabbed and that's it. She's dead. There's no timeline, convoluted things that are happening. We cry, we move on, and that's it. We put her into a lake, and then we move on, and we go after Sephiroth. How does the remake handle this? Well, let me break it down for you. In the remake, which I'm going to do a video about this, because I have to, and I have to explain it more professionally, it is dog shit. How do you fuck up one of the most important deaths in video game history? How do you fuck that up? These Time Whisper ghosts, it's like the one thing that's just like, when I was going into the capital of the Cetra, and you see these things flying around, it's just like, it just ruins a lot of things. We already know that these time-changing things are the worst things about the entire remake trilogy. It's these things, they tend to get in the way, and I don't like that. I'm trying to get near Aerith, and these things are trying to stop you. I don't know if they're trying to help you to get there, or they're trying to stop you to get there. It doesn't make sense. And I'm going to explain this right now. Whether you understand the story or not, it doesn't matter where people understand it or they don't. These things are not supposed to be here. Because I am so fucking tired of people saying, oh, you don't understand the story, that's why you don't like it. It doesn't matter, they're not supposed to be here. Anyway, I could just make a whole video about why people are bitching in my comments about, oh, you were just a terrible person, that's why you don't get it. Fucking hate those people, man. Anyway, with Aerith's death, it's pointless that this is happening. It ruins a lot of things because these things are in the way, and how am I gonna feel sorry for Aerith when these things are ruining everything? Like, my precious cinnamon bun is right there praying, and then these things are over here just twirling around, trying to stop it or save it. I don't know what's going on. This was not necessary at all. Cloud does this in the original. He's trying not to stab Aerith because Sephiroth is the one controlling him. But in the remake, it's these Time Whispers that are controlling him, and it's stupid. Do you remember this in the original? I don't remember this in the original. I don't remember Time Whispers trying to control Cloud. Oh, and here's the thing. Here is the moment right here that just like, it bothered me so much that I almost quit the game because I didn't even feel that passing it at this point. At this point, I was like, what's the point? Why am I still continuing playing this? This is the part where I just got so mad because she did not get stabbed. Cloud deflects the sword, and you could see the little sparkles right there with the timeline thing, like right there. You see all that shiny stuff? That is the timeline right there where he just destroys everything, and I didn't even know what the hell was going on anymore. And I was so mad. I was like, why the fuck didn't she get stabbed? That is the point of Final Fantasy VII, is the loss of someone you care about. And when she did die, apparently she did, because it says that she died and then everybody moved on. The thing is that I didn't even feel bad. I was just mad the entire time because I was waiting for her to get stabbed. I was waiting for my whole life to see this in Remade. And apparently she did get stabbed in the other timeline, but this was not supposed to happen. She was just supposed to get stabbed. Cloud was supposed to have his breakdown, and that's it. And then we get to destroy Genova, and we have a fight, And they couldn't even get the music right. They couldn't even get the music right with this. That's another thing, is that the music was just like, it was terrible. The music isn't even synced perfectly in. Yeah, with the original, it was synced perfectly. Everything about the original was just perfection. And then with the remake, the music is just like, it's all over the place. It starts off a little convoluted. Yeah, it starts off very loud and bombastic. And then when we switch to Sephiroth, during this scene, Aerith's theme starts to play, but it's not even synced in perfectly. Yes, for the music in this game, especially during this scene alone, it was just like, it was terrible. I didn't like... I was mad. I was extremely mad, especially with this scene. How the fuck are people... Like, how are people not gonna get mad? People were just, like, they were terrible. They are dropping the games instantly because of this. Some people don't even know if she's dead or not. People don't even know if this is even their Aerith. This has to be like another Aerith, or something is going on. But then again, I don't care. I don't care because I want the original story. I'm just sitting here like, is she dead? What's going on? Even the music, it's irritating me because it keeps switching back and forth with Aerith's theme and Sephiroth's theme, and I'm like, I'm just over here like, why are they doing that? Like, why are they just switching the music back and forth? Like, can we just have Aerith's theme and not have Sephiroth's theme, and then there's this other music playing when, you know, Tifa and everybody else comes up and the music just switches? It's very annoying. And here's another thing, is that, like, Cloud, he doesn't have his breakdown. He does not have his breakdown at all. I was just over here like, aren't you supposed to be, like, shaking or nervous about, like, when you lose someone you care about, you start to shake in a way that you cannot control yourself. And Cloud does not do that. He just cries, and he's a little bit mad, but that's it. Here's also another problem what I have, is that these other players, these other characters, they don't also have a breakdown. They just, like, the reactions in the original were so much better to Aerith's death that they, except for here, where he's just like, I mean, look at Tifa. At least with Tifa, they got Tifa right. Every other character, they didn't do a good job. Yeah, at least they got Tifa right, but I feel like Tifa is better in the original because at least she puts her hand on her face and then she cries and she runs off because she's sad that her friend passed away. Look, at least they got it right in the remake, but I feel like in the original, it's just so much better. Like, there's more emotion to her death than any other character. All these characters were done perfectly, except for Vincent. Even Yuffie. Yuffie ends up crying here more than in the remake. In the remake, she just sobs for a while, and that's it. And then here, she's just like, she bawls her eyes out because she lost somebody. Especially since she's a young kid, and she just witnessed death right in front of her. It's just worse for her. Yeah, poor Yuffie. Like, here she's done better, even though they known each other for a short while. And in the remake, they spent so much time together. And it's like she doesn't care at all. Like, most of these characters act like they didn't even care about her death. Even Sid says something at the end of the game, like, oh, what did Aerith do? And then in the original, he's just like, he also, like, he feels something, but it doesn't really show perfectly, but well, it's better in the original. And the worst part about this is that Sephiroth does not shut up. Like, he does not shut up at all. At least in the original, he talks for a while. And that's it. And then we have this boss fight right here. God, I hate this boss fight so much. I really do hate this fucking boss fight. Like, it doesn't even feel right. It's the music. It's the fucking music. It's just, like, it's so loud and bombastic because it's an action RPG. Aerith's theme, it's a perspective of losing someone you care about. It's very peaceful like she is. It's very calming like she is. And it's supposed to be heartwarming like she is. In the remake, for this part, it does not sound anything like that. It's just because it's an action RPG. But in the original, it's very peaceful when you're fighting Jenova. And it's not even like this part only. It's just like, it starts to get convoluted with the timeline, and it just gets annoying too. I really didn't like the whole timeline thing, like especially when you start jumping from multiverse to multiverse, and then Zack comes out, and then there's also Aerith that comes out, and it's just like what the fuck is going on? Like, I didn't even know what's going on. At least with the original, we already know that Sephiroth just talks for a while, and then he flies off, and then we get to fight Jenova. Like, how does a Polygon game from 30 years ago do a better job than a game that's only like a year or 2 years old, that has better graphics, And how does this game do a better job than the remake? That's just questionable. Like, what the fuck were the developers on when they were making this? Like, how bad did you have to fuck up the story, especially Aerith? If Aerith's death was the same, then I would actually like to Rebirth. But since it was destroyed and just terrible, I didn't like it at all. I know most of you are like, wow, you're just bitching too much about the remake, but guess what? This is my channel. I can discuss about it whatever the fuck I want. If you're here, just leave. I don't care about your opinions. I mean, if you disagree with me, you disagree. But I'm gonna be discussing about the remake a lot, okay? Because I was disappointed. I was heartbroken when they ruined just so many things about this game. And part 3, I don't know what's gonna happen, but I'm sure they're gonna fuck that up too. Like, I don't even have to play part 3 to know that they're gonna ruin that for me too, because the first part and the second part were already... They fucked up those 2 games, and then there's gonna be part 3 where they're gonna fuck it up, because, I mean... I don't even know what's gonna happen. I just know that something stupid is gonna happen. It's going to be pointless. Because guess what now? Aerith is just floating around now, and it's just like, it's stupid. Like, there's no point to her death anymore. Yes, I love Aerith, I really do, but her death is meaningless in these remakes. Alright, that's all I gotta say about this, about Aerith's death. I'm tired.